Sky Striker, the animation, Master Duel's 3rd anniversary. This is everything that I kind of wanted. Now make sure you guys smash the like crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So for those of you that have not been paying attention, Master Duel just dropped its 3rd anniversary. And we got some Sky Striker animation on the actual platform out here. Now, it's really funny that they decided that they were going to drop the Sky Striker animation in addition to the 3rd anniversary out here, because the way that they set this whole thing up was, you know, the 3rd anniversary had Elemental Hero Neos as like the cover monster. And I always find it very interesting how Master Duel uses the alt arts as like they really treat these alt arts as like this caveat, like this crazy, you know, alternate thing, you know, especially they're like, oh, you want the Neos, you know, this iconic card gets probably one of the ugliest alt arts in the game's history out here, but they're out here promoting it in such an extremely crazy fashion that I don't know, I found that kind of interesting how Master Duel treats the alt arts for this promotion. So there was that. So Master Duel's going through its anniversary here, and we got the whole Sky Striker animation now. Now there were 2 things to the Sky Striker animation that really made it very interesting. You get the core animation itself. You know, you actually get some, I'm going to say it's going to be some scenes and some clips from the actual animation that's coming out here in the future, which is fantastic, by the way. Konami, don't stop doing this sort of content out here. People were in love with this. But we also got scenarios as well. Basically, scenarios took place a little bit during the animation, and there were a little bit of scenes after the animation, but you also had what appeared to be some looping GIFs out here. You know, you had a scene of Rey, you know, rushing through the sky, blinking. It was actually, like, really nice. You got to see a lot of the mode changing as well. You know, Kagari rotating between the armaments and actually showcasing, you know, how things could work. You also got the chance to see, you know, how the Shizuku armor actually works, you know, how it's supposed to be the armament that allows for protecting of bases and things like that. That was a really freaking cool thing for them to include out here. And of course, you had a pretty big showcasing of even Hercules base out here. Now, I'm sure most of you have forgotten about Hercules base because of, you know, the current modern era power creep that we have kind of seen out of the new era cards out here. But don't worry about all that, all right? So you got all the cool lore that we have been wanting to see, but you also didn't get the full story, all right? So I guess this counts as a little bit of a spoiler here, so you're warned. But at the end of the scenario, they leave a big chunk of things off, you know, them kind of setting up a linkage and kind of being like, oh, more to the story to come. Which is kind of interesting, because for those of you that know, there's multiple parts to the lore at this point in time. You have whatever's gone on in the manga itself, which was a story that came after the original story, but it's also very apparent that they're working on stuff right now for Sky Striker that goes a little bit further beyond where we kind of have found ourselves right now. And especially, we once again kind of trail on back here to the alt arts. You know, the Hayate and the Rey alt arts are going to be coming in the near future, at least for us. Japan, I think, gets them in 2 weeks, and Master Duel just got them. But once again, Master Duel does this thing where they almost treat these alt arts as new cards. And I still find that a very interesting marketing scheme, because, you know, it's just them marketing the same stuff to you that you've already gotten, but they're like, oh, you can get the arts that you want, Duelist. You want these extremely nice looking things. Well, yes, I would like those, actually. Thank you. Now, obviously, alt arts aren't going to be for everybody out here, and, you know, this kind of holds true for real life as well. You got a lot of people that are just going to look at these and they're going to go, I don't really care about these alt arts, man. I've already gotten the old base rarity card. Why do I need to, you know, rush out here and get the upgrades for this, per se? And, you know, I'm not going to hate on that, but, you know, Konami, in terms of their marketing, is going to be treating these as new cards because they want them to be special, and they want them to be this exciting new thing to grab onto. So, I also want to talk about Master Duel has survived 3 years in the ecosystem of Yu-Gi-Oh! You have made it this far. Most of you know, the only real things I pay attention to Master Duel are a little bit of how the meta develops and the implications of how their ban list ripples through the game. Because no matter how you want to believe this, all 3 ban lists between Master Duel, the TCG, and the OCG, all 3 lists are linked together in some way. There will be differences across the list, but there will also be echoes from one format to the next out here because they'll test new things out in Master Duel and bring them back in that format, or they'll test out something elsewhere and they'll see what is working out where. Konami is actually very, very notorious for using, all 3 formats to test out across the board. And I actually like that. It gives a better sample testing size across the board. But that's the main thing I personally care about. Now, Master Duel out here. I've seen it's grown the casual player base a lot. There's been the big discussion in the last couple weeks, has the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mid-core player actually vanished from the game? I don't necessarily think that the mid-core player has completely vanished. I've noticed that it feels like there's a little bit less of them. But then again, Master Duel's breeding an entire new generation of players out here. You have players that, even back in the day, might have taken a break or only play Edison and stuff. Now they only play Master Duel. There's a grand, exciting group of those players that only get the chance to look and play the game through Master Duel because actual physical Yu-Gi-Oh! Is too expensive. Now that the Fiendsmith package has touched down, not to take anything away from, Master Duel, celebrating and doing all of this, but you guys have been going through the worst parts of the game right now. You went through Tier, you went through Tenpai, which, by the way, you really enjoyed Tenpai, right? Like, Tenpai was such a fun time, right? No, not really. And now you guys are just getting to the Fiendsmith core. At least in the TCG, we're getting ready to hopefully be done with that. But then, you've got Rizal and Malice. But Rizal and Malice, I think, has actually been a lot more fun than some of the other downsides that we've had to deal with. So I'm assuming probably by, midsummer, you'll start to see the Rizal cards touch down as Rizal's starting to spin on out of our side of the game. It's just kind of how it is. So improvements to Master Duel. How has Master Duel changed the game? Well, the only thing I don't like about Master Duel is it's always so far behind, but I guess because it's so far behind, it gives people the chance to kind of experience these things, but then when they want to translate over to paper, those eras are kind of already done. So I really don't like that. That always feels so weird to me that players are going to be like, I just built this Hungry Burger deck on Master Duel. It's like, I'm going to go take it to paper. And they just get straight up destroyed because Master Duel is just so much further behind than actual paper Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. So, if you want, the hierarchy as Master Duel, Master Duel is definitely last. Then it goes, literally, OCG, TCG, Master Duel is literally the layering in which these things go. That's why I think they use Master Duel as a testing ground for certain things out here, just to be able to kind of speed up the process to be things out. Because they're like, if it worked back here, we've already power corrupt the format. Why don't we bring it on back? Kind of remind you guys of those Dragon Rulers coming on back at full steam. And, now that they're back, not really doing too hot out here on, the way things are looking. So, congratulations to Master Duel. If you guys casually enjoy Master Duel, that's good. I welcome you guys to enjoy playing the format you enjoy. You don't have to spend real money on the game. They just did this returning campaign for branded as well. You can get a branded deck. Yeah, it's a little bit power crept out of the meta right now, but more cards are going to be coming in the future. Konami, acknowledge the fact that, the animation and things doing their thing. And I think that's the greatest thing right now is they're actually using the animation. They're actually using these tools that they've got, and they're actually building and marketing the game. Holy crap. It's a fantastic time to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. That's for sure. So, I'm sure if you've played the Sky Striker scenario or seen it be played, it's very nice. I sat down with my friend and I watched it the other day. It was really, really good. It was really cool to see it all come to life. And, from an animation standpoint, good stuff, Konami. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys.
Patrons!
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.